Greetings from the Cooperatives Unit of the International Labour Organization. Many thanks to the organizers of this event for inviting us to provide a video message. As you may know, the International Labour Organization is the specialized agency of the United Nations responsible for the world of work. It has a mandate to pursue social justice and decent work for all. It has recognized the relevance of cooperatives and the wider social economy to its mandate since its foundation in 1919. As early as 1920, the ILO had a specialized unit focusing on cooperatives and other social economy organizations like mutuals. And this unit continues to this day. It provides legal and policy advisory services, conducts research, delivers training and capacity building through development cooperation programs, and it partners with governments, workers, and employers organizations and cooperates with the cooperative movement and the wider social and solidarity economy movement. In June this year, the International Labour Conference of the organization has come up with a centenary declaration on the future of work. The declaration looks at the future of work with a human-centered lens. It calls for strengthening the institutions of work and reinvigorating the social contract. It also calls for the need for creating an enabling environment for entrepreneurship and sustainable enterprises, including cooperatives and social and solidarity economy enterprises. In fact, unfolding economic, social, and ecological crises around the world have spurred interest in alternative business ownership models and enterprises that are driven by social and environmental values beyond the singular pursuit of profit. Such alternatives have been assigned umbrella terms that vary across contexts, including alternative economy, third sector, community economy, solidarity economy, and social economy. The social and solidarity economy includes cooperatives, mutual benefit societies, associations, foundations, and social enterprises, among others. They are often member or user-owned, democratically controlled initiatives that work to serve the needs of their members and the wider community. Through their principles of solidarity, self-help, and mutualism, autonomous independent management from authorities, reinvestment of surplus to their communities, voluntary and open membership, cooperatives especially, but also other social solidarity economy organizations are well positioned to actively contribute to shaping the future of work we want. Coming to the Middle East and North Africa regions, people, especially young people, have been asking for more transparency and accountability from their governments. They have also been emphasizing issues around social and economic inclusion and democracy. These are also the main reasons people set up and join cooperatives and the wider SSC around the world. This type of solidarity often emerges out of necessity in times of great need and crisis like financial crises, political crises, civil war. And it is familiar to the region. They manifest themselves in many ways, as a women's artisanal cooperative in occupied Palestinian territory, a refugee women's collective in Jordan, a saving and credit union in rural Egypt, a migrant center in Lebanon, a community garden in Morocco, a women's shelter in Turkey, a soup kitchen in Iraq, or a book exchange or a fair trade network in Tunisia. The examples can go on. Women's participation in cooperatives and the wider social and solidarity economy is often motivated by the desire to improve their access to income and employment beyond individual entrepreneurship. These organizations contribute to women's economic participation by providing a structure that allows for pooling of resources that produce and market goods and services. Women's access to employment and livelihoods can be further facilitated by cooperatives and other social and solidarity economy organizations through affordable and accessible services such as housing and finance and a range of care services. Women can also gain collective voice and negotiation power in organizations like cooperatives when they're dealing with public authorities or other private sector institutions. Through democratic governance, cooperatives can serve as spaces where women can engage in decision making and power sharing. They often promote education and training of their members as a key tool for the success of their businesses. Women who work and participate in cooperatives and the wider social and solidarity economy organizations also seek improvement in other areas of their lives. In contexts where social and cultural norms may restrict women's engagement in public sphere, emergence of women-only cooperatives and social economy organizations is observed. Cooperatives that are created for and by women may help in such contexts overcome social and cultural constraints, which might otherwise limit their participation in the workforce and can be particularly relevant in gender-segregated contexts. In countries like Turkey, Jordan, India, Iran, women-only cooperatives are mainly active in food processing, crafts, and sometimes care services. These cooperatives provide work opportunities for the women involved while also creating a social outlet. Such women-specific cooperatives also emerge in sectors where women are traditionally the main producers of goods and services in terms of the gender division of labor, like home-based work in Nepal, domestic work in Trinidad and Tobago, argan oil production in Morocco, shea butter production in Nigeria and Ghana. In alleviation of impediments to women's labor market integration and providing opportunities for improved livelihoods, these cooperatives and social and solidarity economy organizations have positive impact. Let us look at a sector where women are in majority, and that's the care sector. Cooperatives and other solidarity economy organizations operating in the provision of care services predominantly have women as founders, members, beneficiaries, and workers. And these organizations are emerging as community responses, providing multiple care services with the participation of local governments, workers, and beneficiaries in multi-stakeholder cooperatives. Care provision through cooperatives and other SSE enterprises can range from daycare for children and home care for the disabled to the chronically ill and elderly care. Our research at the ILO shows that as employers, care cooperatives tend to provide better and fairer wages and benefits to workers, especially when they are members of the cooperative. And we see this in the case of care provision through cooperatives and other social solidarity economy organizations in the US and Italy, India, Philippines, Argentina, Uruguay, Guatemala, and the list goes on. These cooperatives can also provide improved wages and benefits and facilitate the formalization and professionalization of workers, especially when they are members of the organization. In the US, we've seen immigrant women, home care workers, setting up cooperatives with the support of unions or community-based organizations to secure better wages, improved quality of jobs, and healthier working environments. While the Middle East and North Africa region may not have seen many of these initiatives, a supportive policy and institutional environment of financing and training could allow for such initiatives to flourish, not only for childcare, but also for care of aging people and people with disabilities. Italy is very strong with its legislation and ecosystem that is supportive of care provision through social cooperatives. Therefore, the Italian experience could provide a useful insight with potential for replication in the east and the south of the Mediterranean. In Turkey, in fact, there are efforts to develop a policy around social cooperatives following the Italian experience. I can say much more on this topic, but I think I should conclude. In today's changing world of work, there is a need for alternatives that can reverse the deterioration of workers' rights. I think cooperatives and the social and solidarity economy enterprises are well suited to advancing women's economic participation and gender equality in the world of work, in the region and around the world. At the ILO, we stand ready to continue our engagement with the partners of this project, And we wish you a meeting of dynamic exchange with concrete areas of action to move forward. And we look forward to the outcomes of your workshop and to engage with you further. Thank you.